Hey, what's up, guys? Ron here, and today I wanted to do a deck list profile of the Super Quant-Danger deck that I have built. This is just like my take on it. This is what I think could honestly help you. Granted, I'm gonna make a disclaimer. I've been actually out of the game. Ever since Hashtira was starting to it just didn't really feel the same, me personally, for Yu-Gi-Oh. So I don't really know how this is gonna do against the current meta. If you're looking for a deck list that to combat the meta or anything like that, this is not that type of video. It's a pretty strong, consistent strategy. It's just you know how power creep can be. So, anyways, without further ado, let's get started. So for our monster lineup, we got for the Super Quants, we got 3 copies of Super Quant the Blue Layer. Pretty standard. Whenever he is normal or special summon, um, you know, you can search any Quant card. Typically going for the field spell with this. If you summon and you don't have field spell in hand, if you have field spell in hand, you can grab your other Quant pieces, and I'll show you guys easy ways to get to your Great Magnus and all that. So anyways, we got 3 copies of Super Quantum Red Layer. Super Quantum Red Layer is also important because Red Layer, on summon you get to grab a Quant from your grave, any Quant from your graveyard to your hand. When it's sent to grave, you get to special summon any Quant. It does cancel out or negate its effects. So don't plan to summon Blue Layer then activate effect to search, because Red Layer it's just to get a body on board, so you can it's still good because you can still Xyz summon off of the field spell. You can even use it as link material. So I mean, the whole summon on the field but the effects are negated does not really matter, honestly. We got 3 copies of this boy, Super Quantum White Layer. He's good. He's kind of like the Jack, the wild card, the Joker of the deck, in a sense. He can, if you summon him, you get to send, if you want to, you may send any of these Quants, not Fairy Alphon. We'll get into that. But I was trying to grab for this guy, yeah, Green Layer, because he's a tulip in the deck. I'll get more into that. So the White Layer, he's good for you can send any Quant monster, replaces his level and typing with it. So you can essentially use White Layer for any of the Xyz monsters to go into the Quant. So he's pretty important. He's pretty cool. I like him. Yes, I've seen some of the new Super Quant stuff lately, if you're wondering. I read some of the new cards, and to be honest with you, I'm just not really too much of a fan, me personally, but that's just my opinion though. Somebody out there could probably make the cards work and probably, make them good. I just don't really see synergy with what this deck is trying to do. And lastly, for our 3Os, we got 3 copies of Super Quanto Fairy Alphon. It's basically your searcher. You summon it, you tribute it, and you get access to. You choose one of your you choose 3 super quant monsters of different types. So here, I'm just gonna get this out of the way. 2 copies of Green Layer, just so we can have this for that. So basically, you summon this, you tribute this, and then you can grab either 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, or any way that you want to do. And basically, you pick 3, right? You pick one of each type, and then your opponent gets picked one randomly. That monster gets summoned, the other gets sent to grave. So that will trigger off send to grave effects, but I want to also inform you guys that each super quantum monster is a hard once per turn. It is within the name, so you do got to keep track of which ones have their send to grave effects and which ones have their summon effects, just as a disclaimer. That's, I believe, it for the Super Quant lineup. So moving forward, off to our Danger package. We're playing 3 copies of Danger Nessie. Danger Nessie, when it's pitched or discarded, you get to add any danger card from deck to hand. So very much like White Layer for the Super Quants, Danger Nessie is the wild card for dangers. Can get you, can help you in a pinch. Brings bodies on board. 2800 defense is pretty decent, and yeah. So we got 3 copies of Tsuchinoko. I just have comments right now, but definitely prefer like the secret art. I mean, secret rares. But hey, so Tsuchinoko, pretty good. You can use Tsuchinoko plus blue layer, do like a actual like realistic overlay. What I mean by that is like with the field spell, you can like discard a card to like what a Zodiac style one card overlay or stuff. But like with Tsuchinoko, if you have that blue layer, if you need to, you can go into the blue with these monsters. So that's pretty cool. 3 copies of Danger Thunderbird. People are probably wondering why am I running the high level dangers, and this is like gonna be a mixture of like links and exes. You'll see why I'm running so many dangers. Trust me, trust. So 3 copies of Thunderbird and 3 copies of Danger Bigfoot. Danger Bigfoot. Honestly, this is for like the monster removal. This is for like back removal. If these like get discarded, if not, you're just like flowing through your deck. So I mean, even if you discard like a super quant monster, like you're gonna get that send to grave effect. So that's pretty cool. I'm running 1 copy of Danger Mothman and currently 1 copy of Danger Jackalope, but this is subject to change. I've debated on bumping this up to 2. So I mean, I might just swap out a Mothman for like a Jackalope. You know, Mothman's like my least favorite just because like you just draw a card and discard a card, but so does your opponent. So you're not really getting like any advantage over that. You're just doing a like an effect for both you and your opponent. So like whatever. But like that's why he's like a one of. Yes, I could run 3 Mothmen, but I just don't really see a reason to. I mean, he is a level 4. You could use him and the Green Boy to like go into the ring 4, but like you know, I'm running the Green Boy at like 2 copies anyways because like when he's summoned, you summon another Quant monster. He comes in a pinch like that, and when he's sent to grave, you can discard a Quant monster from your a Super Quant monster from your hand. So you can discard 1 Super Quant card to draw a card. It doesn't even have to be a monster, actually. So if you want to play like the traps, spells and traps, I mean, you can discard those, but that's not what I'm doing. So, and lastly, this is what's a little bit crazy. We are actually running 3 copies of Volcanic Shell. This combos well with the field spell. You pitch one, you Xyz summon. Shout out to a friend that I met that taught me this combo. His name is Connor, so shout out to him. But yeah, you can discard like a shell overlay and then pay 500 life points, grab from deck to hand, and you just have an engine to just work with. So it's great. Off to a spell lineup. We got 3 copies of the field spell, pretty standard. Super Quantal Mech Ship Magna Carrier. This is what helps you do your Zodiac style Xyz summoning. You discard a card. That's the only exception. And you can pitch this to go into your great. That's how you go into Great Magnus is with the field spell. If you have like 3 of the Xyz monsters, both either in your grave or on the field, like it doesn't matter. Although you do want to collect resources like Xyz materials so that way you can really build up Great Magnus and really make him annoying. So, something to think about. Uh, since this card is legal at 3, we're obviously running 3 copies of E-Teleport, baby. So, E-Teleport is actually pretty good because you get, it gives you blue layer. Blue layer is a psychic type. You use E-Teleport, special blue layer effect on summon. You get to search, and that's not even your normal summon. So, you can just, go off with that. So that's pretty cool. 1 copy of War Legacy Succession. 1 copy of Monster Reborn is going to be like your reanimating package, to bring back from grave your reborn thing. This is a hard once per turn, and this is limited to 1. Although both of these do benefit your Quant monsters, because again, whenever they are summoned, they get the proc effects. So if you want to like do that, it's basically an extender. And lastly, we got the 1 copy of Foolish Burial to round up our spell lineup and the rest of the deck. So Foolish Burial, you can send any Super Quant to graveyard. If you really need to, you can send a Volcanic Shell to grave just to like pay 500, grab one, and start with that. So Foolish Burial, good card. Now off to the extra deck. Okay, we're going to start with the Xyz monsters. We got 2 copies of Super Quantum Mech Blast Grand Pulse. I know this one's a different language, but honestly, I just did it for the artwork. Just because, like, look at that. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just my preference. But I have that, like, English copy, too. So, like, if someone wants me to, like, read what the card does, I'll just, like, show them this, Or, like, maybe have a third one, like, put it off to the side just for translation. Anyways, we got 2 copies of Super Quantum Mech Beast Magna Liger. This is the red Xyz monster that you go into. This one real quick, I just want to say this one pops back row. This one can pop monster. We got 1 copy of the green one. Actually, no, 2 copies. My bad. 2 copies of him, and then 1 copy of the white Dino Lustrous. This one can flip a monster face down. Now, whenever these have like the actual corresponding like drivers, you know, like the quantum monsters that correspond to color, these are quick effects. So that's something to keep in mind as well. 2 copies of Great Magnus throughout the Quant lineup. For the Link Boys, honestly, this is just for like a an Avramax play, 2 LP Masquerena into like Avramax. Just because, like, obviously you could choose your Link 2s however you want, but it's important to have 2 Link 2s just for the Avramax combo. So you can go like Avramax and protect like your other monsters. So that's kind of cool. Megaclops, because you could send your Xyz monsters to your grave, link, and then link this way, bring back, and then just do some nutty stuff with this card, honestly. This card is so, like, underrated, in my opinion. 1 copy of Blackluster Soldier, Sojo Chaos, comes in handy. And lastly, the 1 copy of Neo Super Quantal Mech King Blaster Magna to round up our extra deck lineup. So that's it for my Super Quant-Danger build. Let me know what you guys think. And, you know, I might do like more content like this. I don't know yet. Just, you know, trying to like figure stuff out right now, you know, trying to see like what you guys are into and all. So, you know, I'm just testing waters, to be honest with you. But I hope you like this, and I hope that this helps you.